Late morning in Karpisa, north of Kabul. The Afghan Army prepares for a foot patrol. Funded, equipped, trained and led by the West. Meet NATO's exit strategy from Afghanistan. You're looking at Britain's best hope right now, frankly its only hope, of getting out of Afghanistan one day. They've only deployed for a few yards before the shooting begins. If this was a Taliban ambush, they've gone. One man is found. He has a Kalashnikov, but then who doesn't around here? And he looks too old to be fighting. Disarmed, he's led away for questioning. But they can't even do that without squabbling and fighting amongst themselves. Training's got a long way to go. At around 100,000 strong, NATO believes this army needs to more than double in size to get any kind of grip on this rugged country. If you want to stop seeing British soldiers coming home in coffins, this outfit has to become a plausible army. No pressure then. Back at the base, morale is low. These experienced soldiers from the 101st Battalion fight for $100 a month. The Taliban pay $300. No wonder that, once inside their barracks, they couldn't wait to get it all off their chest.
There's not a single province that our 101st Battalion has not fought in and defeated the enemy. We've been demanding better wages. Why don't they listen? Haven't we been fighting properly? Haven't we had people killed and injured? Why? This is what we demand of the Defence Minister and the Commander-in-Chief.
And it's not just the wages. The Afghan Army has few heavy weapons and virtually no modern ones. If you think the British Army has it tough with a lack of armoured vehicles, try this. These vehicles are more than 40 years old. Sergeant Major Journeyman of the 101st Battalion complains that unlike their foreign mentors, his troops are forced to undertake operations in unarmoured vehicles.
Look at this vehicle we use. It's a Ranger. In military terms, it's the poorest in the whole world. A Kalashnikov can pierce it. You couldn't force any foreign soldier into it. All the 37 countries whose armies are in Afghanistan, they all have much better equipment and weapons than the Afghan Army does. All we're left with is belief and bravery.
And the Afghan soldiers need both, even for everyday operations. A convoy is forming up at their main base in Karpisa, northeast of the capital. The mission, to supply a small outpost a short distance up the valley. Because of the dangers of ambushes and roadside bombs, it will take more than 900 French, American and Afghan troops to protect the convoy. The Americans and French, well paid and well armoured. In between them we see the Afghan Army on a pittance in those civilian 4x4s. They also need helicopter support. And all for a base which is hardly remote, just 6 miles down a vulnerable road. Proof, were any needed, of the American commander's recent observation in Afghanistan that the Taliban are gaining the upper hand in several areas of the country. And all this effort for ammo or guns or ordnance? No, they were simply resupplying bottled water and food. Our team caught up with Major Dawood of the 101st Battalion.
Please come with us right now.
Talk about the Taliban gaining the upper hand. Well, he's seen it happen here with his own eyes. As he put it, we used to attack the Taliban around here. Now they attack us. The radio message says the Taliban have been sighted up ahead. The Afghan Army can't get a decision from NATO whether or not to attack. So the Major's frustration has just got a whole lot worse. The Major clearly wanted to tell this war as he sees it. And what he sees is endless armour and kit from NATO, but a gradual loss of the people to the Taliban.
There are 260 French soldiers here. They've got all sorts of tanks, machine guns, everything you need for war. Helicopters, jet fighters, bombers, all of that. NATO forces have all of this, but the enemy has the upper hand. The enemy has the upper hand because the enemy has a place amongst the people.
For him, NATO's 8-year war for the hearts and minds of the Afghans has been a failure. Our team spent some time watching Major Daoud direct his forces. His message to NATO, to Britain, is blunt. Go on getting your young sons killed and maimed here, or give us what we need to fight our war properly and leave.
People in the West should force their governments instead of sending their 20-year-old sons to be sacrificed. Help this country's army become capable of defending its own country.
The longer that perceived failure, the deeper the rifts on the ground. They can be trivial. US forces in Kapisa, for instance, have hoisted the Texan flag over an Afghan army base. How not to win hearts and minds of the Afghan army, let alone its people.
What is good, what is not good, we don't.
And here is Sergeant McInnes, a US military advisor. He's a retired pharmacist and former National Guardsman. Right now, he's advising the Afghan soldiers to send a sizable reward to locals who've tipped them off about the Taliban. But the Afghans can't believe he's suggesting a reward. They know any reward would be a death sentence.
If we bring them here and give them cash, they'll be killed the same night.
Tell them we trust him to decide that. What is good, what is not good, we don't.
They will quietly top up the informer's phone cards and leave it at that. And right up the chain of command, things aren't going much better. A senior US Navy SEAL, Colonel Sanchez, has invited local elders onto the base for a shura, a meeting. And the elders voice the familiar national Afghan complaint.
For the last 6 years, the government's made promises, but you and I can see that nothing's been done.
The colonel's patience is running on empty, and the Afghan army officer, as so often, rather caught in the middle of it all.
But while I've been here, I've lost 4 American soldiers that have been really close to me, my men. I've been away from my family for almost a year. I have children that I would love to be with right now. So when people say that I go back, make promises, and sit on my butt and do nothing, that offends me.
They look on. If they're impressed, they're not showing it. The colonel says the road's been fixed. He says wells have been dug.
We've made a commitment to you. We're not going anywhere until the job is done. The results might not happen right away, but they are going to happen.
He said his piece. And then NATO hands out prayer mats, shirts, and clockwork radios. Finally, there are smiles. But these people have been waiting. Afghanistan's been waiting for 8 years now, and it's more dangerous than ever. By night, the Taliban rocket the base in Kapisa, as they do across the country. By day, the Talibs increasingly understand the value of PR and sell themselves to our team as a better fighting option than the beleaguered Afghan army.
Officials come and take our people to join the National Army. They pay them 5,000 Afghani, but we pay them 15,000. If someone is killed among our people, we take 2, 3 or 500,000 to their doorstep.
And Mullah Mirvais and his fighters have a message which echoes NATO. We'll fight till our job is done.
We propose to the government that the infidels should get out of this country. Then we will sit down and talk to the government. If they don't leave, then we'll continue the fight.
With that, they wandered back into their village, living proof of Major Daoud's observation that the Taliban are among the people, in a way the Afghan army is not, and NATO could never dream of being. Leaving the Afghan army somehow stuck between NATO and the people, fully trusted by neither, as successive Afghan armies have been caught between invaders and their people for generations. Out on the road, the Afghan army has a little local difficulty. Its old tank from the Russian invasion has let them down. But unfortunately, the newer American transporter has buckled under the pressure. They somehow get the tank started again and roll off, tearing up the road so recently laid by NATO.